Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be ranking NFL teams. First, we have Super Bowl favorites. That's obvious. They're Super Bowl favorites. Divisional round exits, maybe win one playoff game. One and done playoff teams. They're going to get to the wild card and then lose. Almost winning teams. That's very simple. And top 10 pick in the NFL draft. Some of the worst teams. Let's start it off with the Cardinals. I'm going to put them in the almost winning team category. I think of the Cardinals as a very, very much wild card. If that's very, indistinguishable, I feel like they could do a lot of stuff. But right now, I think they should be more focused on trying to get to the playoffs than trying to get to the end of the playoffs. Now we have the Falcons. I'm going to put them in the category of one-and-done playoff teams. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think the Buccaneers will win the division again this year, like they've always done. But I do not expect the Falcons to miss out on the playoffs. Michael Penix Jr., I'm one of his believers, and I believe that he will be a good quarterback. Now, we have the Ravens. I'm going to put them in Super Bowl favorite category. They have a lot of weapons. Zay Flowers is literally on my fantasy team. Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks and was arguably robbed of an MVP last year. And I can see a lot of stuff happening this way, but right now I'm just going to put the Ravens right there. Now, the Bills, I am going to put them above the Ravens in the Super Bowl favorites category. They have tons of weapons, and what Josh Allen has made out of that team when your star wide receivers are Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir, it's just amazing how he makes that team better. Now we have the Panthers. This is probably something I'm going to get flamed on, but I'm a Bryce Young believer, and I think the Panthers are going to exit in the divisional round. I feel like the weapons they have drafted in the past 2 years will be good, and I believe that this team is very, very good. Now, we have the Chicago Bears. They're going to be put above the Falcons in the one-and-done playoff teams. I believe that they are very well made for the playoffs, but they're in the hardest division in football, and even if they lose that division, they could probably still make the playoffs. And I feel like they will be a one-and-done team because of all this power in the NFC. Now, this may be a little weird opinion, but I'm going to put the Bengals in the Super Bowl favorites tier. They have made a lot of moves, some of them bad, some of them good. They've lost a lot of players, and they did give basically all of their money to Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. But if this defense can just get a little bit better, this team is a Super Bowl favorite. Now, we have the first time I'm saying this, the Cleveland Browns, the top 10 pick in the NFL draft. I feel like they should be rebuilding, and if they do almost have a winning record, good for them, Cleveland. You're on the right track. But right now, I feel like you should focus on rebuilding. Even though you were in the playoffs around 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I don't remember, you still didn't win a playoff game. And your goal needs to be to win a playoff game. That's the main goal of rebuilding. Also, to win a Super Bowl. We have the Dallas Cowboys. Almost winning teams above the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this team, I just don't know about this team. The Cowboys confuse me because they're going to lose Micah Parsons probably, as of what the news has been on all the platforms. And when you lose Micah Parsons, you're not going to be in a good place. They did add George Pickens, but I see them barely missing out on the playoffs, maybe with like an 8-9 record or something like that. But I feel like the window has closed and they need to wait a little bit longer. Now, the Broncos, I'm going to put them above the Panthers in divisional round exits. I feel like the sky is the limit for the Broncos. They could win the Super Bowl. No joke. That is actually my real opinion. I believe that Bo Nix is a great quarterback, and I believe that he can make a lot out of this team, but he just needs to do it quickly. Now we have the Detroit Lions. I'm going to put them above the Ravens and the Bengals, but below the Bills in the Super Bowl favorites. I love the Lions. Jared Goff, he's so good. I feel like he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL right now. But what people don't know about him is his character. It's just amazing, and I'm not trying to base this off of character, and if that's what I'm doing, I'm sorry, but the Lions are just too talented not to go to the Super Bowl, and it happens every year, which is surprising. I'm a 49ers fan, and I actually feel for this Lions team. The Packers. This is where I'm getting a little confused. I'm going to put them at the top of divisional round exits because I feel like they're in the middle. I feel like they're just stuck in the middle. They're in the hardest division in football, and they don't have a lot of places to go. And that's the problem here. When you don't have a lot of places to go, the sky is the limit, and the bottom of the earth is your floor. I'm confused about the Packers. They could have the number 1 pick. They could win the Super Bowl. I have no idea what's going to happen with this team. The Texans. I'm going to put them at the bottom of Super Bowl favorites. I love the Texans. I don't know why I just said Texans. That kind of sounds funny, actually. The Texans. I love the Texans. C.J. Stroud is amazing. Nico Collins, he got injured last season. But if he can stay healthy, this team legitimately could win the Super Bowl. I am not joking, because a lot of the NFL teams are just, they're wild cards, to be exact. They could do a lot of stuff, but we don't really know until week 1 happens, or even week 7, or even at the end of the season. Because we've seen teams fall, like the Steelers in 2020, or whatever. The Eagles, when they were 10-1, and then they were 11-6, and then lost to the Buccaneers in the wild card. We've seen a lot of this happen, and we just don't know about the Texans. Because the Texans, they're one of those teams that is just so random. Now we have the Colts. I'm going to put them in the middle between Dallas and Cardinals, almost winning teams. You just don't know. When the 2 quarterbacks in the quarterback room are Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, what are you supposed to say? It just doesn't make sense what's happening in that quarterback room. Daniel Jones, he's the most memed quarterback other than Will Levis, who we'll get to eventually. And then there's just Anthony Richardson. If he stays healthy, he can be a good quarterback. But I feel like he entered the draft too early. I just don't know what to say about the Colts. That's why I'm putting them in almost winning team. The Jaguars, above the Browns, but the top 10 pick in the NFL draft. I have a lot to say about this team, and I feel like I will get flamed for everything I have. Well, I guess I won't. I have 55 subscribers. Let's just say it. I think Trevor Lawrence is a bust, and that should be very, very obvious. What has he done in his first years? I don't know. He's come back down 27 against the Chargers. What did he do after? I don't even know either. Just what's happening in there in Jacksonville? I feel like the talent is amazing. Brian Thomas Jr., I don't know. He could win MVP or something. He's a good receiver. The Jaguars just confuse me in a lot of ways. Now, the Chiefs. Divisional round exits above the Panthers and Broncos. This team will lose to the Bills finally for the first time since Josh Allen has joined the NFL. The Chiefs will not make it to the championship game or even the Super Bowl. No, not at all, Kansas City. That's all I have to say. I'm just done with that team. The Chargers. Let's put them in the middle between these 2 teams. One and done playoff teams. All of them have something to talk about. And the Chargers, their mouth is completely shut until the end. What happened last year against the Texans? Justin Herbert threw more picks in that game than he did all season. How do you manage that? I don't even know. I don't know what's going to happen with the Chargers. I can't base it off of the Hall of Fame game where Trey Lance destroyed the Lions. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to put them right here in the one-and-done playoff teams. The Rams. I'm just going to be silent. Right there. That's where they belong. I don't care about what you say. That team, they could win the Super Bowl. They could. They really could. Matthew Stafford is nowhere near being washed. Even though he kind of looks like it, he's not near it. And the Rams, they're the most underrated team in the NFL. By far. And what I do not understand in people is what they are talking about when they say that the Rams are not going to make the playoffs. You've heard a lot of different opinions. I know that. But what I've heard a lot is the Rams, they're going to miss out on the playoffs. People said they're going to go 7-10. I don't see that ever happening with the next 5 years of football. So that's why I'm placing the Rams in Super Bowl favorites. Raiders! This may shock some people, but I'm going to put them above the Cardinals in almost winning teams. They have Ashton mother-loving Jeanty. I love Ashton Jeanty, but he was drafted by the team who has more criminals than football players. So hopefully his career goes well, but it might not. I just don't know about the Raiders. That's why I'm putting them right there. The Dolphins, one and done, above the Falcons, but not above the Chargers. This team, I don't know what to say. Tyreek Hill has said this like for 9 years straight, I feel like. I want to leave Miami, and then he stays. What are you gonna do? They could make the playoffs if Tua doesn't have 6 concussions in the season. I just don't know. I really don't know about the Dolphins. The Vikings, on the other hand, J.J. McCarthy, he's going to lead this team to a divisional round exit above the Broncos, right there. I feel like J.J. McCarthy is going to be good. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm 11. Maybe it's because I'm stupid. But I feel like J.J. McCarthy will be a good quarterback in the NFL. People say he didn't prove a lot at Michigan. I agree. But what I did see is that he's reliable sometimes. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I did see that J.J. McCarthy could lead a team. He won the Natty. He won it, really. Now, the New England Patriots, almost winning teams. You added Stephon Diggs. Really, what else is there to do? You added Stephon Diggs. You might get Micah Parsons, which is very much what I believe in. I think Micah Parsons will go to the Patriots. And I feel like you'll almost be a winning team, but you're not quite going to get there. Now, it's time for the Saints. In the middle, actually, yeah, in the middle. So, the Saints. I don't know what just happened. Don't ask me. So, the Saints. This team is just, it's not it. Your quarterback is older than some quarterbacks that have been playing for like 5 years. I don't know what to say about the Saints team. What I do know to say is that those 2 games last year that you looked like the Super Bowl favorites, that's all you're going to remember because you do not want to remember the rest. The Giants. I could literally see this team going 0-17. Have you seen their schedule? I feel like they play more playoff teams than if they were in the playoffs. This team is just cooked. The Giants, you're in one of the worst divisions. You have the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Commanders. The Commanders, they have Jaden Daniels. You are screwed. You have to play both of those teams twice. Maybe you could split the series between the Cowboys or the Commanders. Not the Eagles, though. They will destroy you. You will not live. Wow. Okay, Jets. This is a hard one. I want to be a Justin Fields believer, but I don't really believe in Justin Fields. I'm going to put it above the Cardinals and above the Raiders. Justin Fields, I believe he will be a good quarterback. I don't know what else to believe, to be honest, but I believe that he will be a good quarterback. And what I also believe is that Justin Fields was good at other places, and he just didn't get to show it. Like, for example, he went to Pittsburgh. He was 3-0 there. 3-0. That's pretty impressive, I guess. Now, the Eagles. There is only one matter that we must do. Let's just go up to the Super Bowl tier. Now, below the Bills, for one reason and one reason only. Really? Are they gonna really go back-to-back? No, there's just no way. The Chiefs did it because they're a full-on dynasty. The Eagles won that Super Bowl because the Chiefs looked like a powder puff football team. I don't know what to say, but I really don't think they can go back-to-back. But I believe that this is the Bills' year. The Steelers! Yeah. I don't know what to say. Aaron Rodgers, if he's still good, let's put it right there. No, right there. There we go. Aaron Rodgers, is he still good? Does anybody know, really? I don't know. Does anybody know? We really don't know. So what we can know is that Aaron Rodgers is 42 years old. That's all I'm going to say. The Seahawks. Now, I'm going to be a little crazy here. Put them above the Steelers. Actually, no, above the Colts. But below the Cowboys. I just realized how much people are in that score. The Seahawks, they confuse me because I don't know what to think of them. There's so much stuff going on. You have Cooper Kupp now. What do I say about that team? I'm going to put them in almost winning teams because I just don't know what's going on in the NFC West. Now, my San Francisco 49ers. You can tell me I'm biased, but let me put them above the Panthers in divisional round exits. I just think that maybe we were unlucky with injuries last year, and maybe Christian McCaffrey can lead us, and maybe Jordan Watkins is him. If you don't know who Jordan Watkins is, then neither did I until he scorched my Razorbacks for over 600 yards. But Jordan Watkins is my guy, because I guess I have to, because he was part of Ole Miss and crushed my Arkansas Razorbacks. Anyways, now I'm going PTSD lane. I just got to talk about the Niners once and for all. I believe Brock Purdy is not a system QB. I don't know why people believe that he is, but I believe that he is not. And what I also believe is that this team is a divisional round exit. Now, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, you are asking me to slow down and I can hear you. But also, what I can hear is that I love the Buccaneers. This team has been in the division that's the worst in football for the past 5 years. Right now, that division's getting a little bit better. I like the Panthers. I like the Falcons. But the Buccaneers, people don't realize how close this team has been to being in the championship. They had to face the Commanders last year. That team went to the NFC Championship. Okay, well, now it's time to just meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. The Titans. This poor team, I just don't know what to say. Is Cam Ward gonna lead this team? Yes. Are they gonna be better than these teams? Right here in the almost winning teams category? No, they're not gonna be. They're the Titans. Not the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the Tennessee Titans. I just don't know what to say. Maybe I'm gonna put them above the Giants because I think the Giants are gonna go 0-17. The Titans are gonna go, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with the Titans, but I just can't believe anything else. Now we have the Washington Commanders. Right, where, no, right there. The Commanders. Jaden Daniels is going to have a sophomore slump. That's guaranteed because people are giving him way too high expectations. He's going to have a sophomore slump to the people on Twitter saying that Jalen Hurts is washed, but he's not going to have a sophomore slump to me because he's Jaden Daniels. He's given too high expectations. You cannot do that to a young quarterback like Jaden Daniels. Anyways, this is my final ranking. Bills, Eagles, Lions, Ravens, Rams, Bucks, Bengals, Commanders, and Texans in Super Bowl favorites. Packers, Chiefs, Vikings, Broncos, 49ers, and Panthers in divisional round exits. Bears, Chargers, Dolphins, Falcons in one-and-done playoff teams. And Cowboys, Seahawks, Colts, Steelers, Patriots, Jets, Raiders, Cardinals, almost winning teams, and Jaguars, Saints, Browns, Titans, Giants in top 10 picks in the NFL draft. Anyways, that was my ranking. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you like sports content. But anyways, bye.